Hello everyone, and thanks for joining me today. I'm going to show you a really fast way to make a plant-based yogurt. It is now my favorite style of yogurt. I've tried several. I used to buy store-bought, but there were a lot of other things in them, which was fine, but I wanted to try something that I can make on my own and know what those ingredients are. So join me today. Let's talk plant-based yogurt made from silken tofu. Let's get started. So what you're going to need for this recipe is 2 boxes of Nagari firm shelf-stable silken tofu. So we're just going to put those right into our blender. I have used a Ninja NutriBullet that has worked just fine as well. So we're going to do 2 boxes. I'm going to put in just about 1/4 of a cup of water. Now what I've learned in doing this is not to put too much water in at the beginning. If it needs more, add a little bit more. We want to add just enough water so that it will blend. I'm going to just do a splash of agave. And the last thing you will need is some starter. So as I make this yogurt, I save the starter into these little baby food jars. You can start out if you don't have any. I would not go spend a lot of money on yogurt starter. I would just save a starter from a plant-based yogurt you might be eating now. So just save, about a tablespoon, and that can be your starter. Don't worry if it has some flavor to it. It's not going to make that big of a difference, but it will get you started without having to go spend a lot of money on starter. So think about that next time you are eating your yogurt, that you want to save a little bit for your starter. So now all I'm going to do literally is blend it in the blender. So now I'm just going to run the blender. And I'm very careful not to over blend it because it is going to make air bubbles. We are going to strain it later. I'm going to add just a little bit more water over here. You get to see the plugs. Isn't that exciting? And all we want to do is just blend it so that it's smooth and we have the lumps out. Well, I made a little bit of mistake. I thought I had put it into a quart jar the last time I doubled it, but I'm going to put it into 2 wide mouth pint jars. Put a little bit of water in the jar. I'm just shaking it up because I'm not wasting that good Nagari tofu. Give everything one more nice little spin. It looks so beautiful. Really lovely. Now, super easy. We're just gonna put it into our Instapot. And actually the weight should be just fine. So we have, our water comes up about 1.5 inches below. Put our lid on. Put our Instapot lid on. Hit yogurt. And I'm going to go for, I know this is crazy, but I know it goes 18 hours, so by lunchtime tomorrow, phase 1 will be done. Then we'll cool it, we'll strain it in some cheesecloth, and I'll show you that tomorrow. So it's been about 15 hours, and I'm checking the yogurt. Basically, it's been overnight. So you can see it's really starting to ferment and kind of has this nice fluffy texture. I'm not going to stir it a whole lot because I don't want to disturb the whey that's at the bottom. So this looks pretty good. Generally what I tell people to do is, do it for 12-15 hours. You will find the fermentation time frame that you want and also the flavor profile that you want. The longer you ferment, the more sour it's going to be, more tart, more fermented taste. So I'm just going to taste it, see if this is what I like, and then we're going to go to the next step. Whoa, I'm just going to tell you, this is so good. And the texture is really nice and soft. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to strain it, and we'll go to part 2. So I use these strainers that kind of look like coffee filters, the black and gold coffee filters, but these are technically very nice yogurt strainers. I'm going to just spoon it in very gently. try not to stir it too much. It's really nice and fluffy, just really lovely. I'm going to start getting a little bit of the whey at the bottom, but I'm going to try not to do that. Some people might stir it in, that's fine, but it's going to strain through anyway, so I'm just going to let this sit. We're going to let gravity take its course. So you might say, gosh, why would I go to all this trouble to make my own yogurt? And after you make it yourself, you will completely understand that it's just so much better than what you get in the store. And I definitely use plant-based options to thicken and to create, you know, consistencies that you need to replicate what you're doing with other products. But I don't think if you do this right, you shouldn't need things like xanthan gum or carrageenan or any of the algae-based products that are plant-based, because they're algae, that are used for thickeners. And I like the nigari in the blue box. It gives it a very interesting flavor profile. So you may choose, again, this is whatever consistency you want. You may choose to mix it all up and then just let it strain. It'll take about the rest of the day. So this has been straining for this has been fermenting for 15 hours. I have not quite, didn't do quite the 18 because I just liked the flavor profile at 15. But I'm just gonna let this strain. You can see it's going in. I'm just gonna let gravity do it. I'm really not going to push it. I'm gonna let gravity just kind of use its science and just let the strain it. You could eat it like this if you want, chill it and eat it. That's fine if you want to make a softer yogurt. I'm going to do something that's a little more thicker and intense, and I'll show you a picture of that. So yeah, we're going to just cover this with these reusable covers. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator until the rest of the day. So, you know, there's a little bit of work in between, and then we just kind of let time help us out. So we're just going to cover it. These are washable, so if they get a little wet, that's not such a bad thing either, because they help, you know, just gather some of the moisture. What we want to do is just release some of the moisture in the yogurt, so we get a really nice, for me, very nice kind of almost a, not quite cream cheese, but a very nice, almost creme fraiche, definitely labna type of final product that is useful for, you know, either a sweet or a savory preparation. So I'm very excited. It's like the moment of truth when your yogurt is ready. And what you have is this really, isn't that just fantastic? It's almost like whipped cream. Now, I like mine kind of tart, so it's okay if you decide, oh, I don't want mine that tart, and maybe you just want to ferment, sour, fermented taste, whatever you want to call it. Maybe you don't want yours that tart, so just ferment it less, that's fine. I think the important part is the straining. You can certainly use cheesecloth, but those just about get on my last nerve. I love this. Now, here's what you can also do. There's a little bit of whey left in the bottom. If you feel like that it's just not creamy, it's too thick, just add a little whey back in. You could add just a tiny, and the operative word is tiny, amount of soy milk back in. I mean, tofu is made from soybeans, so just stay with that theme. And then the other one. So what I like about it is I don't need a whole lot of this. Like, I can have a quarter to a third of a cup and put some nuts and seeds and berries and dried fruit, and I might even put a little granola just for some crunch for breakfast. And I don't need a whole lot because it is so flavorful. It's so wonderfully thick on the tongue. I'm going to leave it up to you. Mine has just a few little things in it, but I love the texture of it. So, you know, it's up to you on whether you want to take it and use maybe a small whisk and try to pull out. If you want like a super creamy, I'm kind of okay with rustic, but that's just magnificent. And yeah, there's the whey. So I may just keep it in a little jar. I saved a little bit of the starter. And so what I do with this now is I'm going to take maybe about this much and put it into a baby jar, and that'll be my starter for the next time. I could even just take half that much and take a little bit of the liquid and have that as my starter, but you just need about a teaspoon. I learned that I actually learned this technique from a friend of mine. I used to make it with dairy milk, and now I really love this beautiful soy yogurt, soy tofu yogurt. And it can go either way, savory or sweet. You can smear it on a baguette and sprinkle on some herbs, maybe some morel mushrooms. I'll show you a picture of that. You know, you could just do a lot of different things. So have fun with it. And just realize you're getting just a lovely, it's really just tofu and a little bit of agave and your starter, and you're ready to go. So you know exactly what ingredients are in it. And I made a double batch too, because I just really like it, and we have some holiday events coming up, and it could be very useful for that. And I think the more we just kind of fold it, actually it's a little even creamier. I have a different spatula that's rubbery, so it'll manage these sides a little bit better than a spoon. But I've had these strainers probably 10 years now. They're very sturdy. So yeah, tofu, just absolutely gorgeous. Silken, soft, boxed tofu yogurt for your eating pleasure. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you got a really nice, fast way to make yogurt at home. I used to make it with dairy. Now I absolutely love making it with this silken, soft tofu in a box. Yeah, it might take 18 hours, but you can be doing a lot of other fun stuff while it's over there fermenting and then straining. So yeah, enjoy it. Use it however you want with some fruit as a spread with herbs. It's fabulous. My company did not know that it was not traditional dairy yogurt, and with those roasted grapes and olives, it was divine. Put it on a pizza too. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Click on this video for you to enjoy some more plant-based experiences, and we make it easy, and just let's eat more plants. And always remember that eating plant-based is creative, colorful, climate-friendly, cost-effective, clean, community-building, and really just plain cool. Let's just eat more plants, whatever that looks like for you.